Ready?
Okay.
Let's take it. Are you filming? And you can hear us?
On 3.
No. What's on 3?
The start.
Oh, okay.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
I'm starting.
Oh.
You're just playing with me.
No, I'm not.
Okay. Stop! Hey friends, welcome back to episode 17 of Notes from Home. This is a very exciting episode because we're getting a ton of stuff done on the exterior of our house, and it is finally kind of starting together. I'll be honest, it's been looking rough for a while, but now all the pieces are starting to fit together. We are doing our pavers around our sidewalk. We're doing some landscaping. Si's building me some chunky columns that I love. We've got the brick pavers finished on the front porch. So lots of exciting stuff going on today, and we can't wait to share with you.
Oh, man! Woo! So guys, this is my longtime friend of, I don't know, 13 years?
14.
14, let's say 14 years, Don. And he's worked with me, and we've done jobs all over the place. He has been very kind to come here to Tennessee for a few days, and he's helping us with some of these projects so we can get them done. So Don came out here last night with a shovel and a spoon and dug his trench in 3 minutes. So yeah, so the first step, which what he did is he came out here with a shovel and he dug down on each side of this trench. He had to remove some roots and a few rocks, but he got down about 4 or 5 inches, maybe a little deeper, because you remember you still have to get a couple inches of this base rock or sand. It's kind of a gravel mixture, a loose mixture. So right now you can see he's hitting it really hard, and that one's too deep. And Don, so you're using that hammer. And there's my dog, or actually Luke's dog. And this is what this is like base sand or base sand. Base sand. All right, show them when you put it down into the base sand. We got a couple inches of base sand, and then he's going to take this hammer. Okay, and that's basically all there is to it. We're going to go back afterwards and put it's called plyometric sand, and we'll fill all these cracks in. It's not a mortar, so it's not a forever kind of deal, but it'll keep them from kind of moving around, and then we'll keep moving. But Adon's doing a great job. Another thing about Adon that I really like, he gives a warranty on all of his work. Usually it's anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks.
So today we're going to start building our columns. Si's actually already built one, but he's going to show you how he built it today right here. So when we extended our gable roof and made it longer and wider.
Deep and wide, deep and wide.
This is deep. This is wide.
Deep and wide, deep and wide.
As I was saying, when we made the front porch wider, we needed to make sure that we had big chunky columns on each side. Otherwise, if we made smaller columns, they would look pencil thin, and we didn't want that. So I have ordered from my husband some chunky columns, and he's going to show you how he
chunky columns. All right. So yeah, so normally I've done 1x6s. I think we did 1x8s before, but we wanted to do something bigger, chunkier, if you will. So we went with these 1x10s. And I use this PVC product. I love it. It is basically weather resistant. So you can see I went ahead and put this first one up because I was trying to kind of figure out how I was going to do my trim and my soffit and so forth. But what I haven't nailed onto is this cedar post. And then I have this on for more support. But the cedar post is basically another product that is very weather resistant. It holds up great. You're going to get many, many years out of this. The reason why I don't like using pressure treated, even though it's great in certain applications, is they can tend to twist, especially the 4x4s and 6x6s, and then before you know it, you've got a twisted column. So anyway, here is our PVC trim that we're going to use, 1x10s, our cedar post. Now we're going to get started on putting this thing together and getting it done. So guys, basically there's only a couple things we need when we're gonna do this. Here's two important things. I am using this liquid nails, it's called Fuse It. And I'm doing this because instead of like wood glue, we're using PVC, remember? We're gonna put just a small bead of this product down the length of the boards, okay? And then we are going to use 18 gauge nailer. These are so handy. You don't have to tug a compressor around and work around that hose. So the other three things you're gonna need is a miter saw, you're gonna need a tape measure, and you're gonna need a pencil, okay? So this isn't extremely difficult. Anyone can do this. It's all about being safe, wearing your safety goggles, and when you're working with the saw, just to be careful. So we're gonna go ahead and get started and show you how we do this. And by the way, these boards, you'll notice, there's two sides. Yes, they are dirty, but there's two sides. You're gonna have a heavy kind of a wood grain on one side. Some people like that. For what we're doing, I'm not crazy about it. So the other side is the smooth side. So that's what we're gonna be using. And again, we're gonna start by putting a bead. These will be going on the inside. And these are too long. They're too long. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna cut about 1/8 of an inch off this board. Are you? All right, so as I said, we're gonna put a bead of this liquid nails material, just a small bead before we start putting up the trim. All right, so the basic box of the column is built. I've got everything up with my adhesive, and I've used 18 gauge nails. I'm gonna now move on to the base and the crown part of this. I'm gonna use a 1x8 base because we want something, again, to go with a bigger, chunkier, more substantial column. We want a bigger base. So we're gonna go with the 1x8. I'll show you how I do that. You can do a, I believe they call it a butt joint or a 45. So we're gonna use the 45s. It's a little better look. So I'll show you that. Obviously, we're gonna fill any of the seams with a light caulk and any of the nail holes, but we'll do that later. So I'm sure there's a bunch of different ways, and somebody that does this every day would probably have a much better way to do this. But when I'm doing my trim and I'm doing a 45, I'll cut a piece like this and put it up to my trim. And from this corner, I'll then set it up and mark where the edge of my board is. And that's where my 45 is gonna stop, right there. Okay, I'm just using a screw here because I don't have a pencil. But pretty easy to do. All right, same principle on the top. Only difference is I'm using 1x6 And actually I am using this primed wood. I'm not as concerned with this being on top and being wood because it's going to get very little weather. But again, 1x6 on the top, we're doing the 1x8 on the bottom, and that is the PVC product.
Hey guys, I was editing the video and I realized we don't really have a full after shot of the columns being finished, both of them. So I'm going to show you that now.
Hey guys, so don't know why I'm sitting here, but my mom wanted me to do the outro and sitting back on the columns that my dad just made. And stay tuned for next week where we will be working on the landscaping, putting pavers on the walkway, and getting ready for some holiday fun. Okay, bye. See you then. We're thinking bye.